Bum 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 ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum bum bum ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum ba-da-dum bum 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 dum dum bum bum ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum bum bum ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum ba-da-bum bum bum bum, bum bum ba-da-bum bum bum bum, bum bum ba-da-bum bum bum bum, bum 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 ba-da-dum. Bum 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 bum, bum bum ba-da-dum bum bum bum, bum 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 ba-da-dum.
Nowadays, it's because of the equipment, the technology. It's actually possible to do your own music videos. Okay, back then, and like, let's say, in the 2005 and earlier, music videos obviously, big budgets, big pimpin', spending G's, big fucking budgets, and you have like a superstar music video directors, you know what I'm saying, and it's like 100 grand to make a fucking music video. Well, it doesn't cost 100 grand anymore. Okay, why? Because of the fucking technology, and because we're in the streaming age where record sales, they're not the same. It's streaming, so it's a different kind of a ball game where it's more independent now. Okay, so um, let's say you want to do music video. You got your album, but you need to do some music videos. Why do you need to make a fucking video? I know it's really easy. Because of fucking YouTube, bro. It's the second biggest search engine. There's Google and there's YouTube, okay? And Google owns YouTube, obviously. So you think about it, everybody at work goes on fucking YouTube instead of working. Like if they're on an office job, when people are drunk, they go on fucking YouTube. When you're at home and chilling, you're on fucking YouTube. That's like most people, right? Now the cool thing is that with TuneCore, where you uploaded your fucking album for digital distribution, they have the shit now where your music, when it's played on YouTube, they will collect the fucking money for you. So now it's like, it's a no-brainer, dude. Get the fucking shit on YouTube. Why? Because you can make money off the streams, and it's a big marketing tool. So for marketing, and you can get money. So you kill two birds with one stone by making music videos and putting them on YouTube. There's a lot of when I went to Cal Arts, there's a lot of I went to school with a lot of video people, directors, students, and film video students, and they have this fucking admiration with Vimeo for some fucking reason. And that shit doesn't fucking make sense to me, because YouTube, like I said, it's the fucking huge search engine, and more people will see it, and you don't have to like pay to put your shit on there. It's free. Oh, did I mention it was fucking free? So people can like find it, and you don't have to pay for it. What the fuck? Hold on a second. Did I mention it was fucking free? Let me write that shit again here, Cholo. It doesn't cost you any money to upload shit on YouTube. So for all you people who are like still enamored with the Vimeo shit, I hate to bash on that shit, but look, man, I mean, this is a fucking better opportunity, man. And people get really a lot of film video people are really anal with quality. They're like, I gotta do a red epic camera. Those are like 10 grand and up cameras to do this shit, and blah blah blah, and 4K and all this fucking bullshit. No, you don't need that shit. You don't need that shit. Unless you're doing a fucking Hollywood movie with a big budget, keep it on the cheap, bro. You're independent. You're on the come up. You gotta keep it on the cheap, bro. So now, what you got is the age of fucking of DSLRs, um, where you got a photography camera, a digital photography camera that could take videos, so you can get some nice images. So we're gonna talk about that shit. Okay. Now I said DSLR, digital cameras, but now we're like transcending right now to mirrorless. Mirrorless is basically it's a DSLR with that the way those cameras work is they have a fucking mirror in the light chain. Okay, it takes a picture and it hits a mirror and it gets recorded, right? Well, the mirrorless ones, it's fucking direct. So why does that matter? Because they're smaller now. They're smaller and they're cheaper. Okay, so mirrorless. Shit. Mirrorless. Okay, and they're smaller. They're cheaper. They're 4/3. They're called micro 4/3 cameras. Okay. I'm actually recording right now on a GH4, Panasonic Lumix GH4, and it runs about less than $2,000. I think with the body only, it's like you could get it for like 1,200, so that's pretty good. So for a fucking camera, GH4, you can do pictures and you can do video. The video you can actually shoot in fucking 4K. Which is the same as those really expensive, epic, 10 grand and up cameras. You know, those are still like, you know, better. But hey, man, you can still fucking you can still shoot. You can shoot a movie with this motherfucker. You know, so think about that. I mean, think about it. We're in the age of streaming, so you can shoot your own fucking movie and just put it on YouTube, man. I mean, fuck it, because that's just the way it is now, right? Okay, so GH4. They also has like its little cousin, the G7, right? Now this is like, I think it's, let's say $1,200. Body only. Body only means it's just the camera. It doesn't come with the lenses. Okay, and then the G7 is $600. The G7 also does 4K, by the way. And when you look at the fucking images these cameras produce, they're almost, I mean, they're fucking identical. No one's gonna fucking know this shit. Like, the average consumer, they don't give a fucking shit about this. But this is for you, the independent artist, to save fucking money. Now, the main difference between the GH4 and the G7 is GH4, this is the main difference, alright? It can record slow-mo, okay? The G7 does not record slow-mo, okay? Slow-mo, yeah, so that's really fucking important if you're doing music videos, because there's gonna be times when it's very important to shoot slow-mo, okay? But if you put it in your software, like it can actually make slow-mo just by changing the speed on the editor, so you can actually recreate slow-mo effects on the editor. So if you're really need to save that money, just go ahead and get the fucking G7 and don't worry about it. The other thing, main difference with these cameras is that the GH4 is a little bit not a little bit, it's much more it's a little solid build, okay, solid build. So a little bit more heavier, okay. Now this is important for just to mention, because if you're doing music videos or whatever, you're gonna be like on location or whatever. It's a good thing to know, because the G7 is a very, 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 very light camera, so you're gonna need to get some sandbags and some fucking nice tripod, because that motherfucking shit it's really light, bro. So the wind can fucking, you know, can fuck with you, man. So that's important. You know, it's not a big deal, but it's something to be aware of. When you actually have the camera in the hands, you're like, all right, let's go make this fucking music video. You gotta know this shit. These little stupid little things that you gotta know. Okay? Now, a DSLR, you can still get like a Canon fucking, what is it, T3i or some fucking shit. And that's like around what, like $700 there, 600, 700. So it's like the same price. Now here's another thing to consider, okay? Fuck. The other difference between these Micro Four Thirds mirrorless cameras and the DSLR and the mirrorless is that Micro Four Thirds thing, okay? This is fucking important, okay? 4/3 and was it 35 full frame. So full frame and yeah. Okay, now the thing with the full frame, so this is the DSLRs and then this is like the mirrorless. The important thing just to note here is that the mirrorless cameras it's probably going to be like, I mean, it's probably already happening, but this is the future, okay? This is the fucking future. The only difference is that the lenses that are built for it are smaller than the lenses on the DSLRs. So, what does that fucking mean? It means that because the lenses are smaller and the sensor is different, it's a little, the sensor is smaller and the lenses are smaller. So what does that fucking mean? That means basically the lenses that work with the GH4 and shit like that, you can't get the same wide angles that you can with this. Okay, so there's like kind of like a crop. Okay, it can't do this. This is a crop. Meaning, so your wide angles, if you with the shorter lenses, like let's say 28 millimeter, a 28 millimeter lens is considered a wide angle lens, right? But on the fucking mirrorless, with an adapter or some shit, it's actually gonna be what's 28 times 2 here? Well, I could just fucking do it. I'll just come on, use some fucking math. That was okay. 28 times 2 is 6. I'm gonna carry that shit. 56. So it's gonna be 56 millimeter equivalent, meaning that on this camera that 28 millimeter is going to look like a 56 millimeter on that camera. You get what I'm saying? So it's like there's a crop that gives it the effect that it's actually a 56 millimeter lens. Okay, so how do you get around that shit? Okay. Now, this is not, it is a big deal, but the workaround is this. An adapter can use these DSLR lenses. Those are like $15. But it's gonna crop, right? That shit that I just said. So the workaround is you get a fucking speed booster, a made of bones speed booster, and this fucking made of bones speed booster is an adapter, but it has an extra glass in there. So what the fuck does that mean? What it means is that now this fucking thing is like $500, okay? So it's pretty expensive, depending on what model you get, and it only works like certain models only work with certain lenses, brands, and shit. It gets kind of complicated, but it's kind of expensive. But the reason why you need to get that shit is because the crop that I was talking about, it actually reduces the crop. So instead of a 2x crop factor, it actually reduces to a 0.6, I think. So the crop factor is, well, fuck, I gotta check the numbers. I actually forgot what the fuck the numbers were actually. Don't quote me on that shit. But anyways, the point is that or 1.6. I don't fucking remember. Whatever. It's too technical. It's important, but the gist is this: instead of having it crop, you know, here, the crop is like here. Okay, so you get not. It reduces the crop, and the other thing is that it actually makes the lens. You get an extra stop, an extra f-stop. What the fuck is an f-stop? It means it allows more. You can shoot in lower light better. Okay. So why is that a big deal? Because it actually, when you actually get these fucking cameras, you realize that you need a lot of light. Okay, you need really good lighting to light shit and make it look good. And the problem with the fucking mirrorless cameras is that they don't work that well compared to the DSLRs with the light. Okay, smaller sensor, less light. I don't fucking know if that's true, but that's what seems to be the case. So with the speed booster add-on, so it allows you to work around that shit. So it's kind of like, well, you might be saying, well, why don't I just get a fucking DSLR? Because then I don't have to get this stupid shit, this Metabones shit. That's $500. But here's the thing, though. Like I said, dude, this is the future. This mirrorless cameras. These are the future. The thing with the DSLRs, man. Oh yeah, here's another thing. Real quick, with the Metabones. Now, if you got the GH4, you shoot and you want to do like cinema 4K, like really, shit. Because of the speed booster and shit, you could actually get a Super 35 equivalent. Okay. Super 35, and that's it's technically smaller than a full frame, but it's the same as a movie camera, a Super 35 millimeter movie camera. Okay, which is interesting. Side note. So in other words, mirrorless, you're not gonna get the full frame, but you can do the workaround. And you might say, why don't I just get the fucking DSLR? Okay, why? I'll tell you why right now. Because the DSLR cameras that are out right now, they don't have the video capabilities that the GH4 does. Okay. GH4 can shoot in fucking 4K, and it could take pictures, and you press the record button and it doesn't stop, and it has like all these features that help you with the fucking video shit. DSLR cameras are still made for pictures. Yes, you can do video with them, and yes, there's this whole fucking industry born from it, but this is the evolution of that. So it has better, more video friendly. The other thing with the DSLR is that they can be pretty fucking heavy, dude. So I mean, yeah, buy that shit, whatever. If you want to get a DSLR, get a fucking DSLR. Not a, but yeah, man. I mean, like I said, this is the future. It's gonna phase this shit out. The other thing, I mean, me personally, I don't really like the Canon cameras. I think it's all preference and shit. But for me, the GH4 just makes sense. You just get the goddamn GH4. The other possibility are video cameras, like for example the Canon um, C100 and C300. Now these are like specially designed video cameras, which are really fucking cool. The problem with these is it's really expensive. So, um, I mean, you're gonna spend 10 grand on a fucking C300. Okay. Okay. So yeah, and they don't shoot pictures. They're made for video. But anyways, the point is the whole point of this shit right here is that with a fucking camera, 1200, let's say you get the 1200 with the GH4 plus the Meta Booms, right there, dude, you can get a fucking camera for less than $2,000. So think about that shit. Think about that shit. You get a fucking GH4 or a G7 or whatever. You can shoot your own. You get your own photography. You can take pictures. You get the fucking video camera to shoot your music videos. So you can kill two birds with one stone, and it's under $2,000. That's really fucking big deal, dude. This is a really fucking big deal. Of course, you can also spend. Get it for under 2K with the DSLRs, like, but you know, I've kind of hit the fucking dead horse there. I'm not against them. I'm just saying, like, look, man, this shit. It seems like, you know what I'm saying. Like, you know, like with the cool thing with the GH4, man, is like you can flip the screen. I'm looking at the screen right now as I'm recording. I also have an app right here on my iPhone where I can remote control, you know, focus and remote control record. The remote control focus only with digital lenses, by the way. You know, if you have a manual lens, it's not gonna work.